Hello everyone, this is Fei. I'm the Strata Manager at BCS Melbourne office, and this presentation is about the understanding owners corporation in Australia. And this slide shows all the contents to be covered in this presentation. And as you can see, all the topics, and I will go through them one by one for you. Introduction, and I grew up in Shandong province in China, and I've lived in Melbourne for about 14 years. I work as an owners corporation manager at BCS Melbourne, and my portfolio has 65 properties, just over 1,000 lots in total. Mostly medium-sized owners corporation properties, such as 31 Barnsbury Road in Deepdene and 300 to 304 Racecourse Road in Flemington. I also manage some large-scale buildings, such as Chloe in Box Hill, which has 96 lots, and many of my customers are Mandarin speaking. After being in the owners corporation industry for 5+ years, and I have a good understanding of the typical problems property owners and the committee members experience. I understand the owners corporation rules and the processes can be difficult for migrants and overseas investors because of language barriers and the difference in cultures. I will be sharing how I and BCS Melbourne can help when it comes to understanding owners corporation property rules and matters in Victoria. From my experience of living in China, I know a little about how owners corporation living works differently there. And in China, the role of the owners corporation manager is more like a concierge, who normally has an office within the estate, which generally consists of a number of individual buildings and common recreational areas. There will also be a range of admin staff in the office. The owners corporation staff in the communities in China can normally help the residents with a large range of inquiries and needs, not limiting to the common property related issues. The owners corporation managing company in China would normally have several security guards, cleaners on site who are also part of the same company. Some of the services were engaged without the approval of the residents. Legislation is quite different there too. While there are building rules, they may not be enforced unless they breach China's state or national laws. For example, my mom lives in an estate that consists of 50 buildings and around 30,000 residents. Many service staff members on site 24 hours a day. If you have something heavy to carry to your unit, you can sometimes ask for help from the security guards on site. Here, the system is quite different in Australia, where property have shared community living spaces. These are managed by the owners corporation, which consists of all owners to manage common properties and the financials of the owners corporation in a more professional and efficient ways. The owners corporation in Australia would normally hire an OC manager like myself and the BCS Melbourne. BCS Melbourne, as an OC management company, manages the common property, collect levies, renew the strata insurance, maintain financial records on behalf of the owners corporation. The repair and maintenance works can be organized with the approval from the executive committee of the OC, which normally has 3 to 12 owners. While each owner is responsible for their own property, usually an apartment known as a lot. Shared areas such as the gym, pool area, common driveway and gardens known as common property is managed by the owners corporation and its committee. It will be difficult to have everyone make decisions on everything that needs to be done around the property, so the owners or the owners corporation appoint a committee to make some decisions in managing the property on their behalf. Most owners corporation property are smaller in Australia compared to those in China. Some only have 20 or so lots. There are, however, also large schemes with more than 200 lots in Australia. Owners Corporation Act and the special building rules govern owners corporations living, and they are enforceable just like state and national laws. You will receive a copy of model rules of an owners corporation or special rules if applicable. When you buy into an owner's corporation property, they form part of the owner's corporation certificate included in Section 32 of your sale contract. Owner's corporation manager in Australia are indoor administrators, which work from an office but not necessarily on site. During the pandemic, so they are currently working from home. However, the owner's corporation managers may visit the sites they manage upon the request from the OC members or the committee, which, however, will incur additional charges. Owner's corporation manager don't require to inspect the property. That tends to be a building manager or the property manager or real estate agent's responsibility if you are leasing your unit to a tenant. And as mentioned earlier, most of the OC has a committee who is responsible for overseeing maintenance, upkeep, and administration on behalf of all owners. The owners' corporation managers normally deal with the committee to seek relevant advice and approval before organizing repair and maintenance works to the common property. Communication in the owners' corporation. When working with customers with an Asian background, I have noticed several misconceptions about owner's corporation management and the role of an owner's corporation manager. A few examples. Misconception 1. Owner's corporation managers are responsible for inspecting the property, making decisions around repair and maintenance, and being available on site to help owners and residents. This is not true in Australia. In Australia, owners corporation manager work from an office, which may not be on the site they manage. While owners corporation managers attend meetings on site for a fee, they don't generally go on site to check the building or for any repair and maintenance works. Or things like checking CCTV footage. If you need someone who can be on site, your owners corporation will need to hire a building manager. That's a separate role in Victoria. If you don't have a building manager, it's up to the owners and the residents to report repairs and the maintenance needs. The owner's corporation manager can help find the right contractors to fix the issue, but the committee will need to be involved and approve the works, unless they are emergency works, which fall into a different category. An owner's corporation manager can't make decisions about the repairs. That's the committee's responsibility. Misconception number 2, the levies you pay are not your owner's corporation's salary. So the levy payment amounts are decided upon by the owner's corporation based on the annual budget in the annual meeting of the OC. All owners will be invited to attend the meeting and have a chance to vote on this at the AGM meeting. A majority of the levy payments goes to your owner's corporation administration fund and the maintenance fund. The money is used for repairs, maintenance, and upgrades to the common property, while a small portion goes towards paying your owner's corporation management manager based on the service agreement in place. I often answer questions about these things and clarify misconceptions for Chinese or Asian property owners in the buildings managed by BCS Melbourne. I'm happy to go out of my way to do that to help you out. There's a little example based on my experience. There was one time that I was asked to go on site and check the quality of the works conducted by a plumber. I explained to the OC member that the OC managers are not in a position to inspect or approve works. We simply act on behalf of the OC. The OC members or the committee were required to inspect the works and advise the OC manager whether they accept the quality of the works. Helping Chinese property owners. Coming from a Chinese background, I have a personal understanding of how to make Chinese customers feel more comfortable with processes and the involvement on the committee. I've set up WeChat groups for some buildings that I manage to help the Chinese-speaking residents, while also setting up WhatsApp groups for English-speaking residents. The way I like to work is for formal requests to be emailed to me in English, but I'm happy to explain things and help out informally on WeChat in Mandarin. Several English-speaking Chinese customers have bought a property for their elderly parents to live in. If the parents do not speak English, I often explain things to them in Mandarin or speak to their children when issues arise. I've found the approach of setting up WeChat groups being very helpful in minimizing misconceptions and resolve inquiries in Chinese community. Breaking the language and the cultural barriers together. Language and cultural barriers often stops Chinese or Asian owners from getting involved in their property and committee. It's important to remember that all owners become members of the owners corporation. Every single owner, including you, gets to have a say in what happens to your building. It's every owner's responsibility to participate. The final decision will be made via majority's vote. Some owners only get involved to complain about things they don't like. In my opinion, this isn't a good approach. I encourage all Chinese owners I work with to get as much involvement as they can and share their thoughts and ideas in meetings. Your contribution can make a difference. By being involved, you can help increase your property's value. For owners whose property is managed by BCS Melbourne, I will be happy to guide you in getting more involvement. Owners corporate knowledge and guidance. Getting involved with your committee to make a difference. I encourage you to get involved in the community of your owners corporation if you can. It's important to have a good representation of all owners in a committee, and that means people from all cultural backgrounds can get involved and contribute. When Chinese owners from properties manage get involved in their committee, I make myself available to answer their questions. I'm happy to share my knowledge and guide them when it comes to meeting rules and similar topics too. I currently work quite closely with a committee with 4 Chinese owners. They are doing a lot of good work together to improve their property's maintenance and value. I manage a building with 4 Asian committee members. Before they came on board, the previous committee was not quite responsive. Thus, I, as the owners corporation manager, could not get enough votes within the committee to proceed with the common property maintenance works. After I've explained how committee works in an OC and the benefit of having an active committee to an OC, they put their hands up to become committee members and all response to my emails seeking approval for the maintenance works. A lot of work got done since then, and the appearance of the whole building has much improved. Answers to common questions I receive from the customers. The most common thing I guide Chinese owners on is what owners are responsible for repairing and maintaining versus what the owners corporation is responsible for. As a general rule, you are responsible for things within your private unit, and those only benefits your unit. The owners corporation is responsible for things and areas everyone in the building uses. This may be different to your experience in China. In China, residents may call the OC manager to repair a blocked toilet, replace a blown globe in your unit. However, this will be a bridge to the OC Act if the OC manager organizes this kind of works and use the OC's money to pay for this kind of private works in Australia. Who is responsible for maintenance and repair changes depending on if the area or items is considered to be common property or private property. This information can be found in the plan of subdivision of your property. It's normal to have questions about things like this. Not all owners corporation companies may have someone available to help you in your own language. That's why I make That's why I make sure I do this for my Mandarin-speaking customers. If you do have inquiries about the OC repair and the maintenance responsibilities in OC, please feel free to reach out to your OC manager. To help you with this, BCS Melbourne, which is powered by Pickup Group, has created a fact sheet, which will be translated into Mandarin. For your reference, you will all receive it via email after this webinar. On this slide, you can see my contact details, which is my email, my WeChat ID. And if you have any questions for me, you can get in touch with me via these details. Thanks for attending.